clause at page 223, para 27. They're just pointing to the growth of judicial review. In contemporary age, there has been a significant growth in the judicial review of administrative actions, and the grounds on which the courts interfere have been expanded. The expansion, however, has taken place in the shadow of competing concerns of vigilance and restraint. And it is faithfulness to these dual concerns of vigilance and restraint which produces the unique supervisory jurisdiction, which is the hallmark of judicial review. I then go on to page 229.
These words have been taken from a book of.
G.
No, this is not the finding of the court. This from some book. These italic words have been.
But this is the reasoning of the court. So this is leading to the ultimate finding, but this is how the court is reasoning in order to come to its ultimate finding.
Yeah, has Jam pe likha has taken place in the.
They quote a book. They quote a text there. G. The jurisdictional limits. I'm at page 229, para 36. The jurisdictional limits of the powers of the High Court under Article 199 of the Constitution, however, do not apply to the Supreme Court in terms of Article 187 of the Constitution. This court, on account of general institutional dysfunction and to render complete justice, has expanded the scope of judicial review and exercise of its powers under Article 184(3) and 187. But while doing so, it has also been conscious of the principle of separation of powers in terms of which the functions of various organs of the state have been delineated in the Constitution. It intervenes to ensure enforcement of fundamental rights, to address the menace of corruption when laws are blatantly violated, and to fill the gap in the law. My Lord, Justice Naeem Akhtar had asked this question yesterday. Can gaps be filled in? To fill the gap in law with a view to render complete justice. The object is...
This can be exercised when public at large is involved.
Yes.
Not in individual cases.
No, obviously 184(3) की power जो है वो invoke तब होती है when there is public interest, there is a fundamental right involved, and the issue is of general public importance. The object has also been to ensure that state institutions perform their functions.
Then what about writ of certiorari? Because in Imran Khattak case,
Lord,
High Court powers have been more curtailed.
Or then?
More than curtailed, that High Court cannot go beyond the pleadings.
Yes, now after the 26th Amendment.
Overreaching. So Supreme Court can do everything, High Court cannot.
187, obviously these judgments are saying that with 187 and 184(3) available to the Supreme Court, its powers are much greater.
About 5 writs powers to the High Court.
Lord?
5 writ powers to the High Court.
But the writ powers are very vast also. But all that this judgment and others are saying is that the Supreme Court is even wider in the exercise.
Under 199, the Constitution has determined what power the High Court can exercise.
Yes, sir.
Whereas in 187,
complete justice.
There is no limit.
To enforce fundamental rights, there is no limit. Lacuna, gaps can be filled up.
So, gap, यहाँ पे लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल हुए gaps in law.
Yes, sir. So gap in law का पैदा हो जाता है. जब एक dysfunction हो जाए, एक मामला जो एक तरीके से चलना चाहिए था, उस तरीके से नहीं चलता, अब उसको वापस लाना है. अब गैप आ गया ना. There is no law of chaos anywhere in the world. कि अगर chaos हो जाए तो कौन सा law लगेगा? Then the court has to step in and undo the chaos. So the court has to say, and I'll come to that, you've done that again and again, my lords. When the constitutional scheme is violated, there is a deviation, there is a breakdown, there is no law of retrieval, there is no law of chaos, as I said. You have to then provide a mechanism to bring the system back to the constitutional path. And that system you provide in exercise of your inherent plenary powers. There is no letter that of the law that you can point to say कि अगर ये dysfunction हो जाए तो क्या होगा, अगर 3rd November की emergency गलत लग जाए गैर आईनी तो क्या करना है हमने. You have to do what needs to be done. There is no law which will dictate what you need to do.
कहने का मकसद है कि जब constitutional violation हो, बेशक law का वजूद हो या ना हो,
आपने वापस लाना है मामलात को to the constitutional path. वापस लाने के लिए आप हर वो order करेंगे which is necessary.
The High Court cannot.
So ठीक है, मैं I personally feel, and particularly in view of my Lord Justice Hashim Kakar's judgment in the Balochistan High Court, कि High Court की powers भी बहुत vast हैं.
लेकिन आप देखें ना, हाई कोर्ट की पावर महदूद
लेकिन
नहीं
कोई
है,
इशू नहीं है यहाँ पे.
महदूद नहीं है. अदरवाइज देखिए 199 में क्या क्या
1C in particular.
वन आप देखें, वन में ये कहते हैं कि एनी पर्सन कनेक्टेड विद द अफेयर्स ऑफ द फेडरेशन फेल्स टू परफॉर्म और परफॉर्म हिज ड्यूटी इन एक्सेस ऑफ अथॉरिटी. बहुत वास्ट मीनिंग है.
और सर, और C में
एक अथॉरिटी है, एक अथॉरिटी अगर वो अपना काम नहीं करेगी,
आप ठीक फरमा रहे
हाई
हैं.
कोर्ट कैन स्टेप इन.
और सर 1C ने तो उसको और वसत दे दी. 1C ने कहा एनी पर्सन, A और B में तो है पर्सन परफॉर्मिंग फंक्शंस इन कनेक्शन विद द अफेयर्स ऑफ द फेडरेशन.
I personally in favor of expanding the power,
I
not
agree.
curtailing it.
सर मैं अभी आऊंगा टू द बलोचिस्तान हाई कोर्ट जजमेंट. 1C की बेसिस पे तो बलोचिस्तान हाई कोर्ट एंड बिफोर दैट 2009 सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हाई कोर्ट की पावर्स को बहुत वसत दी है. बट व्हाट दिस जजमेंट,
पावर वैसी बहुत वसी
जी,
है.
बिल्कुल.
देखिए, आप उसको मिला के क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं? 199 को डोंट रीड विद आर्टिकल 187.
ठीक है.
199 के पावर तो इतने हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास नहीं है.
कुछ सूरतों में हुई है ये सब
सूरतों में
discussion
क्यों?
है.
को वारंटो है,
जी जी
हैबियस कॉर्पस है. आपके पास तो ऑर्डर आता है उनका चैलेंज होने, मगर
ठीक हो
उनके
गया, सर.
अपने जो ओरिजिनल पावर आर्टिकल 199 में है,
जी, जी.
विद ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट, इन माय ओन व्यू दिस इज मोर देन द ऑर्डर ऑफ पावर ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट.
सर ये भी
तो हम-
जजमेंट्स हैं. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में तो फिर 184(3) में यू नीड फंडामेंटल राइट्स, यू नीड
public importance and fundamental right.
High Court में you
High
don't need
Court
that.
does not require
Quite
the
right,
public
quite right.
importance and fundamental
बिल्कुल
right.
ठीक है.
Even the co-warranto jurisdiction has been given
Right,
to
sir,
the
quite
Article
so.
199.
And
There
under
is no jurisdiction in the
बिल्कुल
Supreme
ठीक-
Court.
बिल्कुल ठीक फरमा रहे हैं सर. both these
हम
judgments
उनके
हैं.
ऑर्डर तो चेक करते हैं,
जी,
बट
जी.
उनके जो पावर है वो हमसे ज्यादा है.
तो
देखा
उसमें
जाए
फर्क सिर्फ इतना किया है आपने. There are two sets of judgments. One which say that High Court's powers are wider than the Supreme Court because they don't have to look for fundamental rights. They don't have to look for public importance. They can pass an order.
in few powers the person is need to be aggrieved. And even co-warranto, there is no condition even that you are aggrieved person or not.
So वैसे 184(3) में you can pass any order given in 199. So 199
Without prejudice.
जी. So 199 की सारी
That
powers
is limited
आपको
to the public interest.
जी 184(3)
fundamental
में
rights.
बिल्कुल. लेकिन लिमिट वहां पे ये है कि पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट हो,
Fundamental rights.
फंडामेंटल राइट्स हो. So इस तरह देखें तो एक हवाले से हाई कोर्ट इज वाइडर, दूसरे हवाले से सो द एंट्री पॉइंट.
आपको ये बात हम कर रहे थे कि यहाँ पे अपील आई थी 185 में against the judgment of the High Court passed under Article 199.
But when it comes here,
When the High Court fails to exercise power under 199 or any authority fails to exercise power under
हम
199,
यहाँ आ जाते
तो
हैं.
185 we can
Right. So
we cannot
180
look into.
So अब वो कह ये रहे हैं सलीम अख्तर साहब and now Dosani Travels कि once the matter reaches the Supreme Court, all the powers of 199 are available. But in addition to that, if there is additional power needed, it becomes available because of 187 and 184(3). ये है. This is in a nutshell the crux. So vast powers under 199. This appeal is, or the appeal in the first round was a continuation of the proceedings before the Peshawar High Court. Therefore, all powers of Article 199, including under 1C, were available. But in addition to that, even when an appeal is being heard under Articles 185(2) or 3, the powers of this court under 184(3) and 187 add to whatever was available to the High Court. That is what the final conclusion of this court is. And this is what I'm reading here. Kindly see it. Para 36, page 229 of my paperwork, which is the printed page 35. So no cavil here that when matters come to the Supreme Court in appeal, even under 185(2) or 185(3), this court can, if it comes to the conclusion that there is a matter of general public importance relating to the enforcement of fundamental rights, it can exercise powers under 184(3). It can invoke 184(3). So para 36 I leave, I move on then to page 233. Handwritten. This is paragraph 41. Handwritten 233. Para 41. While seized of petitions under Article 199 of the Constitution, the High Courts at times are faced with prayers to pass order and provide relief for doing complete justice. But such powers in constitutional jurisdiction are vested in the Supreme Court under Article 187 of the Constitution. These powers are distinct both in scope and the manner of their exercise. The apex courts in most of the democratic countries enjoy such powers. The powers of this court to pass any order or give any direction for doing complete justice are similar to those which the Supreme Court of India enjoys under Article 142 of the Constitution of India, and such powers cannot be exercised by the high courts in India in exercise of their constitutional jurisdiction. For a better understanding of the comparative constitutional law emerging from these provisions, a reference to these articles would be in order, which are as under. So they reproduce 187 after the amendment in 1976, which contains the phrase subject to clause 2 of Article 175. Then I go to para 42. In both the above quoted provisions, the paramount consideration and the constitutional intention is common, i.e. for doing complete justice. These powers being inherent are complementary to those which are specifically conferred. I again pause here. Inherent powers complementary to those specifically conferred on the court by the constitution of these two countries. These powers remain undefined, so that the court can cater to any situation and could even mold the relief. For instance, if an individual acquires property...
In civil court is competent to do so.
I bow, my lord, I bow. बिल्कुल ठीक फरमाइए. Lots of judgments on civil court. What to say of the Supreme Court? आप बिल्कुल
just like section 151 CPC.
Right, sir.
The civil court has all
Main jurisdiction in under section 9 is civil. When the constitution was not in field, even the varies of the law were challenged in the civil court.
सर वहाँ पे ये इशू फिर आ जाता है parties का necessary party party.
No, the general jurisdiction of civil courts is provided under section 9 of the Civil Procedure Code.
Absolutely, sir.
When the constitution was not in field, even then the varies of the laws were challenged before the civil court, not
And
in
then
the
an
constitution.
appeal under Order 41, it is even wider.
Yes.
It can grant relief to somebody who has not filed an appeal under Order 41.
Power of the appellate courts.
Power of the appellate court is to transpose, is to grant relief.
even any person who is not party to the
Yes, sir.
can file appeal.
So this is absolutely a completely established part of our jurisprudence, that the courts are there to grant relief to whoever is entitled to relief. Now, while in a civil court there may be this issue, when 184(3) comes into play and the relief is to be granted to the public at large, then there is no question of who is a party, who is a petitioner, who is a respondent. Everybody in 184(3) ultimately is an informant. मैं भी उस case law पे भी आ रहा हूँ.
देखिए जब jurisdiction assign की गई है 184 में और 185 में, so what was the need of further strengthening the or giving power to the Supreme Court under 187?
So through 187, your lordships have said 184(3) can be invoked even under 185. So when the court is seized of an appeal under articles either 185(2) or
187 की जरूरत क्यों महसूस हुई है? मतलब जब ऑलरेडी दो पावर्स हैं हमारे पास.
बिल्कुल ठीक है सर, ये तो आपने सिर्फ वजाहत कर दी कि ये पावर 184(3) की जो है टू डू कंप्लीट जस्टिस, मुकम्मल इंसाफ बुनियादी हुकूक के लिए, वो आप अपील सुनते हुए भी कर सकते हैं.
Now, Mr. Salman Akram, this question arises from this discussion, as Justice Mandukh has pointed out, that there was an enlargement of power under Article 187 of the Constitution, giving extraordinary powers and more power to the Supreme Court. But under the principle of trichotomy of power, what do you think are the limitations of the Supreme Court while exercising the powers under Article 187? Is it required to follow particular procedure or giving notice to the parties that from here onward we have deemed it appropriate that this is an area in which we would like to exercise powers under Article 187?
So that becomes apparent and it is known to all. Your lordships wear the law on your sleeves. हम भी नोट बना के आते हैं कि this is there. Each time we stand up before your lordships to argue a case, we know that your lordships are vested with 187 and 184. And when the argument is made, everybody is there. Nobody is saying, PTI is not saying कि जी हम पार्टी नहीं थे, आपने हमें क्यों relief दे दी? Who is prejudiced by this? So every person who had an interest in this case, in this matter, was there. And the people of Pakistan were also being, in effect, represented, I would submit, through the informants. And I'll come to that in a moment. But the people of Pakistan ultimately